Here at RPM, we've liked the Nissan Qashqai from the very moment we first encountered it. It links the practicality of a C-segment hatchback with the raised stance and the aggression of a compact SUV. And if that sounds like a strange marriage, it certainly is. But in this case, it does convince. The Qashqai has been one of Nissan's biggest success stories, a trend it hopes to continue with the recent launch of a facelifted version. In styling terms, there have been changes to the front and rear, but the most interesting aspect is the addition of a CVT transmission to the range, which brings clutchless motoring to the Qashqai lineup for the first time. There's also a stretched version with 2 extra seats, but our attention is specifically focused on the Qashqai Acenta 2.0 CVT, which links a petrol engine to the CVT gearbox and front-wheel drive. The most important changes to the Nissan Qashqai for the 2010 model year are all at the front. They combine a more aggressive grille, a brand new bonnet, a different bumper, and new headlights to create a more cohesive and more purposeful face. At the rear, new taillight clusters employ LED technology, which makes them more visible and prettier too. The overall effect, pretty effective. The new grille and composite element headlights make a big difference to the Nissan's visual presence. They endow the Qashqai with a stronger, more aggressive face that's a better match for the vehicle's overall personality. By comparison, the previous model suddenly looks bland and boring. Despite the fresh styling, the Qashqai's profile remains instantly familiar. The taut lines and raised ride height have been retained, while big 18-inch wheels emphasize the short overhangs and planted, athletic stance of the car. The result is an attractive vehicle that seems to combine the best of the hatchback and the SUV worlds in a single head-turning package. The wheels, shod with low-profile tyres, are standard on all 2-litre petrol and turbo-diesel Qashqai models and confirm what we've always suspected. This is a compact crossover and not an SUV in the strict sense of the word. The cabin of the Qashqai is spacious and car-like and has remained virtually unchanged compared to the original. There are some updates to the trim and materials, the instruments are new, and there's a new display for the trip computer. Also new are the extra storage options for oddments. A comprehensive list of standard equipment includes a 6-speaker CD sound system with MP3 compatibility and an auxiliary jack, dual-zone climate control, a multifunction steering wheel, Bluetooth connectivity, and cruise control. As before, the Qashqai has a 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating and comes standard with front, side and curtain airbags, as well as ABS brakes with EBD and EBA, VDC stability control and ISOFIX child seat mountings. The split rear bench seat folds flat to extend the 410-litre cargo space to 860 litres, while a full-sized spare wheel is standard. Overall accommodation is spacious, both front and rear. The execution is smart and upmarket, with the dark hues, metallic accents and soft textures adding to the cabin's feel-good factor. But what's this latest version of the Qashqai like to drive? Powering this particular Nissan Qashqai is a 2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine delivering 102 kilowatts of maximum power and maximum torque of 198 Newton meters. It delivers that urge to the front wheels via a constantly variable transmission, or CVT for short. In simple terms, the CVT uses a cone and a rubber band which runs up and down the cone, thereby steplessly changing the effective gear ratio. It's a simple and efficient system, but because the engine revs don't vary a lot, it sounds terrible, as if the clutch is slipping. The CVT in the Qashqai has 6 virtual gears that can be accessed by switching to sequential manual mode, but even these simulated gears don't convince and take-up is slow. I would opt for the manual gearbox any day and save 12.5 grand in the process. The CVT also has the effect of blunting the lively character of the engine, and as a result, performance is slower than the manual version. 0 to 100 time in this car, 11.3 seconds, that's 1.2 seconds down on the manual, and top speed 183 kilometers an hour, which is 12 kilometers an hour slower than the manual version. Nissan claims a combined fuel consumption figure of 8.2 litres per 100, but our test car's appetite was higher at 10.8 litres. The CO2 emissions rating comes to 195 grams per kilometre. Despite the very low-profile 215/55 tyres, ride comfort of the Qashqai is pretty good, and it also offers predictable road manners. The raised ride height means that the chassis feedback is a bit on the remote side, but a tight turning circle means that it's very manoeuvrable in tight spots as well. Above all, the Qashqai drives more like a car than an SUV, despite the raised stance.
push into a corner too hard and the understeer is pronounced, but easily manageable. And while there is a fair amount of body roll, it's never unsettling.
The first generation Qashqai got the crossover package just right, and this latest version simply improves on the original. It's best considered a family hatchback with SUV attitude, and in that respect, it convinces absolutely.
Add the long standard equipment list, keen pricing and 3-year 90,000 kilometer service plan, and there's every reason to believe that the latest Qashqai will be as popular as its predecessor. Nissan's updated crossover has a lively petrol engine, more purposeful styling and a revised interior, all of which promises an even better package than before. But while the new CVT gearbox is meant to be more efficient and is convenient to use, it actually blunts the handsome crossover's performance.